So let's have a look at how we can integrate equations into a web page. So you can see in this case we've actually generated some equations based on actual values which we enter. So if I put in a 2 and then a 3 here, hopefully the equation that's shown will reflect the values that I've actually entered. So in this case we can actually create equations. So let's quickly have a look at the source just to see what it is. We're using jQuery in here, and this is our main JavaScript for rendering our equations. And then we can see down here, this is an example of an equation. This is an example of inline, so we can define our own delimiters. So in this case, anything between dollars, the dollar signs, will be taken as an equation. So it's just a standard type format for text type equations. So we can see this here is rendered over here, like this. And then if we look later on, we can see here there's another equation. So this gives us our quadratic equation. There's the standard format, and then this is the with the values that have been generated from the web page. Obviously the controller adds these values, and then down here we've got a whole lot of equations that we can actually click on. So in this case we might want x squared minus 1 equals 0. Gives us that. There's our roots and so on. So let's have a look at how this is actually created with inside MVC. Okay, so this is the page here. So there's the integration of the JavaScript, and the main page is here. So there's the main code going in there. We call up this partial page here. This is where the main things happen. So we can see in here. So this is when we're rendering our page here. The controller will actually fill these values of A, B in this case. There we go, A, B and C, and then we put it with inside the dollars, and then obviously the JavaScript will then render that. So we'll now go and look at our controller. And we're looking for CalcQ. Here we go. So there's the get. So we can pass in some values if we want. So we can see here, if we pass in a value, it will split it off and then take the A value. So that's going to be the value that we've seen from the other page, the B value and the C value. Okay, so there we are here. So if we want 2x squared plus 3x plus minus 5, there you go, there's the values coming in there. So that's really what that's doing. And it's filling up the values of A, B and C there. Convert them into double values, and then I've got a calc roots here. So on the page I determine the two roots of this equation. So A and B go in, and then x1 and x2 are the two roots that come out. And if you're interested, we just use a standard quadratic equation in here. There we go. There we go. So we've got A, B and C. So it's minus b square root b squared minus 4ac upon 2a. But we've got to determine, because we'll get a square root of a negative number if b squared is less than 4ac. So if it's equal to it, then we've got a single root. And then else we've got two unreal roots. Okay, let's see if we can actually force it to have unreal roots 4b squared is greater than 4a squared. That's okay. That should give us unreal roots. Okay, so that's when this condition happens here. When b squared is equal to 4ac, let's say that's 16. 4ac. B squared is equal to 4ac. We have a single root, okay, which gives us that value here. Okay, and that's really all there is to it. We can have a look to see where it renders to the page. There's the value of x1 and x2 going in there. So if we look at the page here, the value of x1 and x2 are displayed here and here. Then the page will fire on a post if we put in some new values, as we did before. So calc roots, when we press on that, then we'll go to the other calc queue for a post that was there. This one. Okay, so let's run. Okay, so that's shown how you can actually use an equation editor in a page. A few other examples that you should be able to have a look at. Are on this page. Here's an example of using an equation. So we can see here we can enter value and I'll do the calculation for us. Okay.